Hi there, I'm Larry Birnbaum. I teach computer science and, when I'm allowed to, journalism at Northwestern. I'm the PI and faculty founder of the Night Lab there. I'm also was a founder and chief scientific advisor of Narrative Science. What I want to talk about today is news editors as attentional engineers. And what I mean by that is that news editors, human and machine, determine in part what information we're going to see, the order in which we're going to see it, and the format or modality in which we're going to see it. Now, I'm assuming that for human editorial decisions, or for human editors, these decisions are made based on their editorial values, which are associated with a variety of organizations. Editorial staffs probably teach and instill these via example and discussion. And consumers know these by their brand. So, for example, what are Bloomberg's editorial values? Well, speaking only as a reader and a layperson, I would say they are timeliness and accuracy of factual information around the economy, finance, and business. The Atlantic and the New Yorker, on the other hand, strike me as a consumer, again, as being around in-depth reporting of context, seasoned, relatively objective reporters with a personal voice, and broad coverage of cultural and social issues. TMZ's editorial values are, first of all, actually, it's interesting because they're around one trope, and it's the same trope all the time. It's the feet of clay trope. And so they're interested in that, and they're also interested in having it both ways, like she's not a hooker, well, maybe she was a hooker. On the other hand, more and more, our attention is actually being engineered by machines. For example, this machine. It's also determining what information we're seeing, the order in which we're seeing it, and the modality in which we're seeing it. And the question I want to pose is, what editorial values underlie their decisions? Reddit actually talks a bit about the editorial mechanism, at least, that underlies its decisions, which is the popularity method of voting that they use. And at some level, we know the factors that these artificial editors are using. They're using popularity. They're using some version of reputation or clout, page rank. They're using personalization, what you've clicked on before, and so on. Those are the factors they're taking into account. But the question is, how do these factors relate to what we might call humanly understandable and traditional editorial values, such as depth, clarity, color, accuracy, timeliness, brevity, and so on. And I have a feeling that in many cases, even the engineers who write these systems don't understand that. And the reason they don't understand that is because we haven't built the algorithms in such a way that those factors are expressed in these traditional, humanly understandable terms, in terms of these editorial values. And this is actually a technical problem of representation and programming language. This is the kind of interface I would love to give to readers and editors. Maybe it's just telling you what are the editorial values and trade-offs that went into play in the particular story or set of stories you're looking at. Maybe it's something that allows you to control them. Under the hood, we're going to have a sort of this is a very rudimentary editorial model. Really, it's only a curatorial model of selection, organization, and presentation. And we have to ask, where in each of these steps will editorial values play their role? Now, to make this happen is going to actually require a little bit of joint work because, on the one hand, we're going to need editors to explicitly articulate their editorial values in ways that computer scientists can actually make real. And that means linking these sort of humanly understandable things to algorithmically and computationally tractable things. First-class objects. I'm going to skip this.
Come on.
This is what I really want to talk about. The thing is that I want editorial models, this is just a pun on the word first, I want editorial models on first-class media objects like stories or photos or videos, things that are writable, publishable, readable and understandable and adoptable by machines and people, critiquable. And so actually my dream is that someday Andy Carvin will never publish articles in which he selects and organizes and presents social media data. He will publish a curatorial model that selects, organizes, and presents social media data. Okay, we're going to scale Andy Carvin, or we're going to give him the tools to scale himself. I want to thank especially my research partner, Chris Hammond, and all my other colleagues, many students. 2 students are here today, Cece Wei and Katie Ju, who recently graduated from Northwestern, and of course my fabulous funders, including the Knight Foundation, and just this past week, Google. Thank you.